Okay, today we're going to do our first automated workflow, which is a weekly newsletter. If you are a financial advisor and you want to start doing some automated routines to save you hours and hours and hours a week, almost 15 hours off my plate doing some of these automations, this is the video for you. We have spent the last couple of videos building a memory file and a voice file. You can't do any automations well without seeding those files first. So please watch the other two videos if you haven't, because this one will give you really poor results if you don't do those other things first. So what we're going to do today, 15 minutes, super simple. In Claude Code, we are going to build a fully automated end-to-end newsletter, weekly newsletter production. And so let's get started. All right, let's do full end-to-end automation inside of Claude Code. We're going to get you from having no automation, no newsletter, no outreach to your clients, to doing full auto on whatever it may be, whether you want to write a monthly newsletter, a weekly note to your clients, a quarterly, an annual, whatever it is, we can build it inside of Claude Code. Couple of housekeeping items. Second time I had to record this segment. First time my microphone was all the way over there. My desk has been fixed. Obviously, if you haven't seen this week, my desk broke in half. And that was a great afternoon, actually great morning. And third, this is the first video I've done after coffee. So looking a little bit more awake, looking a little bit more spry, but let's build this. This is important. You as a financial advisor have been wanting to get information to your clients. The problem is being disciplined enough to do it, and it takes a lot of time. I found out the hard way that once you start these things, meaning a daily note, a weekly note, a monthly note, you might think like, okay, who's actually reading this? Are they finding this useful? Is it worth my few hours? When you stop doing it, you'll find the answer to that. And even if it's 2 or even 3 of your clients that are like, hey, I loved reading that, you got to start, you got to keep doing it. So discipline, having this automated is going to make that discipline a heck of a lot easier. And so that's why automation is so important, particularly in these cases. So I'm in Claude Code. Use Codex if you want. Use Kimmy. I don't care. We're not on the cloud. We're not in regular chat. We are in code. We have bypass permissions off. We've got access to local machine on, and we're going to start this automation. I'm going to start with the first prompt. I'll read it, and then we can go over how you can maybe do this somewhat differently. But the first prompt is easy. We are going to build a Sunday email to clients. I want you to create a routine that each business day, so each business day at 7 p.m., you create an economic and stock market recap file, put that in a desktop file named Market Summaries. Use all available public sources of information like CNBC, Yahoo Finance, FT, Wall Street Journal to create these summaries. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to create this file. Claude Code is going to create this file. We're going to give it access to do that. And it's going to go out on a nightly basis, and it's going to create like a daily summary. So instead of creating a routine where on, let's say, Sunday morning, you want to get an email to clients, it's going to have to go out and, do a full week's worth of research. It's going to take a while. Let's just, chip it off one day at a time, learn something new every day, then we'll compile it. So if you could see, it created this file here called Market Summaries, put it on the desktop, which is great. And what it's doing right now is it's creating this routine. So it's creating a routine that every Sunday at 7, it's going to do a full recap of the market. It's going to put this in this summaries folder. So you might have access to certain other types of information that you read, maybe not, just CNBC or Yahoo Finance. This looks like it's scary. It's not. All this is the prompt that it's injecting inside of Claude to do a scheduled task. So we're going to allow it to create this routine. So step 1 is today a trading day. It's going to figure out, is this a trading day? It's going to do a web search. It's going to look at CNBC, Yahoo Finance, Routers, MarketWatch, Barron's. It's going to make sure it's accurate. Never invent an estimate number. Never, like I said this on my first video, AI will make stuff up. Let's make sure it doesn't. And then it's going to write a file. It's going to have index closing, the sectors, breadth, internals, like everything that you would need, almost like an investment committee would review on a day basis. And it's going to do this for you on a fully automated fashion. But what I was saying before, everybody's practice is uniquely different. We all have different things that we read, we use, we need. You know best the type of information that not only you need, but that your clients need. And so you don't have to just use this prompt. I mean, if you use paid research, or you have your own research, whatever it is, and you want to bake it all in this initial prompt, just tell it where to go get the information. It'll go get it. You just have to tell it exactly what you want it to look at and exactly what you want it to make, and it's going to go do that. And so it has made this market summaries, it's running it, and it's going to build us a sample template from Thursday's closed, since today is still open. I'm doing this on Friday. And so here, done. 3 things now exist. If we go in and we open market summaries, we've got a market recap from yesterday. So let me pull this over here. Gives us index closings, give us 10 of 11 sectors finished lower. Technology was the sole meaningful gainer, carried the index by itself. So it's got this like short summary showing us all the things that are important and ahead of us. And so it's going to start to build on this. Now with this sample, if you want different or more information, tell it, hey, this seems a little light, or hey, I want you to go find from this source. Just, you can continually build on this routine. And so if you go into routines here, you can see this daily market recap. The information is right here for it. And when we run this, create us a sample, but let's just run this routine now. And it's going to run this daily market recap for us. And this is going to run every single trading day. You're not going to have to do anything. This status is active, and it's going to run today at 7 p.m. As this runs, and we can come back to this, but when it's finished, you can give it like, hey, I need more information here. This seems a little light. Can you go into more detail here? What does this mean from a macro sense? Like, really build it to be exactly what you want. As I always say, garbage in, garbage out with AI. It is going to do what it's going to do based on the information that it has. These are very important summaries because we're going to build the whole newsletter off of this. Where you do that is inside of this. So when it runs today, you could be like, hey, please update the routine to look for this, that, or the other. Okay, so we'll let that run, and we will get back to this particular prompt. So we have now got daily market summaries. Those are being built. They are automated. That is going to make compiling this at the end of the week a lot quicker. Now we want to give it a little bit more information about our book of business. So attached is a current holding file of my entire book of business. We can use this to talk more specifically about any holding that would impact our book in more detail, so that clients reading our update have a way to tie back to their own accounts, and the information becomes useful. The attachment didn't come through. Well, it's because I didn't attach it. So let's attach files or folders. Let's go in here. It's in iCloud, Advisor Book Holding Demo. There we go. So there's your file. Sorry. What this is going to do is also, if holdings are mostly ETFs and mutual funds, review the underlying and find the real book exposure. So here's our book holding file, put it right on the desktop. What this is going to do is going to make your newsletter or your weekly update a little bit more relatable. Like if 30% of your book of business is, I'm making this up, in Apple stock and SpaceX, right? I think those are going to be very important holdings for the vast majority of your clients. And so finding some information about where you might be a little bit top heavy, that will be a little bit more meaningful for clients, that'll be found here. And look, you don't have to, you could API or attach this somehow, or auto load it, or create a routine for it to go grab it. But if you're not like, if you're a quarterly rebalance firm or a monthly rebalance firm, just grab, after you do a rebalance, throw it in here. It's going to find the most recent, and it's going to make sure your weekly newsletter is going to be a little bit more specific to your specific book of business, rather than just, giving, more broad type of information that maybe they don't want. So it now knows what your book has. It's now building these summaries. So let's actually create the routine. Let's pop in this prompt. So now we're going to create the Sunday routine. You can do this any day you want. You can do it Saturday. You can do it any time you want. You can do this weekly. You can do this quarterly, monthly, whatever. So on Sunday at 7 a.m., compile a weekend recap. Use my voice file. If you didn't do that, go do it. To write the update, summarize the daily notes inside the market summaries desktop file, right? We built that earlier. look at the most recent holding file inside book holding file on desktop, just created it, find any useful, relevant links to articles or podcasts advisor might find interesting. Okay, so if it's out doing some research and there was an article written about, the new tax rule, or maybe the changes to required minimum distribution, I'm making this up, has changed, right? That is something it'll find that is relevant, that your clients would find relevant. Let's link them in the email. Put an investing quote in the email. I don't know, put a Buffett quote in it. It'll figure it out. The hold note should be under 2,000 words. The contents of this note should be easy, readable note that someone could inject in 5 minutes with a cup of coffee on a Sunday morning. Put the note in a folder on the desktop titled Sunday Client Update. Read the prior file to make sure it's not repetitive and provides new, useful information and updates. Add a too long didn't read section, TDLR, too long didn't read section, to summarize the note in 3 to 5 bullet points. Add a unique subject line that ties the note. Note any material holdings, changes, or rebalances. Small tweaks are not relevant. Awesome. Let's go. It is now going to build routine to, here's your daily market recap routine. It is now building your weekly note routine. Okay, now here is, while it builds this, here is where your work comes in on the first couple. Your first 3, 4, 5 weeks, you're going to read it and be like, meh, it's okay. Like everything I've ever said on every single one of these videos is you have to edit it and you have to let AI know what you changed, what you didn't like, and then tell it to update the routine to reflect that. So without doing that, you're going to get the same output. So here's our Sunday Client Update folder that just populated. It is going to feel like work, but you don't get this for free, right? Like it's not going to be perfect the first time. You have to make it uniquely yours. And to make it uniquely yours, you have to edit it, let AI know that you edited it, how you edited it, what you edited, and to update the routine to make sure it does it going forward. We are going to allow the routine to be created. That's what this is doing. Now, this is personal preference. I have created this Sunday Client Update on this particular video to basically allow you to go in, copy and paste it, put in your email. Not what I would do, but because I don't have your tech stack and everything that you use, it's hard to get granular. There's a couple of different ways I would do this. First, I would integrate my email to this so that it could automatically put it in drafts. That's one way. If you want to do it via email, automatically put it in drafts. The other thing I would do is I would create a desktop file with your current clients or any contacts you want this going to, and I would, in this routine, tell it to BCC those people inside of that draft. So you can basically wake up on a Sunday morning, there is a draft ready to send to everybody that you want BCC'd, and it's going to have a unique subject line, and all of it's going to be copied and pasted in there, right? That's great. The other thing you can do is you can work on the design of it. Like if you just don't want it to be like plain language, you can work with this routine to, design something really beautiful and make it like impactful and put in, tables and all this sort of stuff, right? You can make this uniquely yours. The part about this that's important is actually creating the routines. But once the routines are created, altering those routines to be able to deliver this in a really like nice fashion is not that hard to do. It's just going to take work. And then once that work's done, it's just going to run on automation every time you've scheduled it. Now, the third way of doing this is actually the way that I do it. We have a daily note. We have a Sunday newsletter. We also do a nightly kind of like signals update if there's any changes on our book. And that goes on full auto. So we do that in 2 different ways. One is an email. And so an email will come through after work. That's somebody who's like subscribed to our stuff and wants that. The other one is the newsletter. The newsletter, we use an online service. We use Beehive. There's a ton of different ones out there. But if you wanted this to be more broad, where someone can like actually subscribe to your ideas, or you can share it on LinkedIn or wherever you want to share it, I would consider spending the money on a newsletter service. Get all of your clients subscribed to it. Let them know it's coming. Be like, hey, I subscribed to this newsletter. We're getting it out on a daily basis or a weekly basis or whatever it may be. And then it'll allow you to like pick up a distribution list that people subscribe to that aren't your clients. It might help you grow and pick up new clients. That is also very easy to do if you set it up in the routine. And we're going to get this into another video, but you can actually tell Claude in a routine to inject that information via, just go to Chrome, it'll log in, it'll set it up for you. All you have to do is hit the publish button. So every morning I wake up, I have Beehive on my desktop open in Chrome, signed in with my newsletter, already fully ready for me to go in drafts, fully designed. All I have to do is read it, make sure that there is nothing wrong with it, hit publish, and it's gone. You can get to that point. It's going to take you 4 to 6 weeks if you're going to do this on a weekly cadence of editing, making it feel like what you want it to feel like. But once you get there, the discipline of just having to hit a publish button after you've done all these automations, your clients are really going to start to appreciate that, especially if you take the time on the front end to make it valuable to them. They don't need junk. They don't want spammed. But if you can really think through your book of business, your clients, your beliefs, the type of people that they are, and get them and set up these routines with information that they are going to find useful and that they're going to appreciate, this is going to be a very impactful thing for you. And I think you can not only make your clients super happy, but also grow your business if you broaden this out and share it. So this is how you automate a very simple weekly email, newsletter, update, whatever you want to do with it. We can get very deep on other automations, which we are going to do. This is very simple to do. I just did this in 15 minutes. You can do this if you take time, and over about a month, you're going to have a beautiful set of either, emails or newsletters that you can get to your clients, get it done automated. It's going to take you maybe 5 minutes a day after that. But put the work in on the front end, or it's not going to be what you want it to be.